dedicated to wires access and fusion. And then I've got two TS2010 woods. One's dedicated to 10 meters, and the other one's dedicated to ISS frequencies and satellite. And then I have a pair of FT 890. What are they? 980. Heck, I can't. They were all band all mode, small radio, a little brick. 897. I think that's 897. Two Yaesu 897s. One's dedicated to 2 meter sideband solid frequency, and one's dedicated to the 6 meter solid frequency. And every one of those radios has its own dedicated antenna. And I can't switch between two motorized antennas. One's a car field and the other one's a DS3 mounted on opposite sides of the truck. If you go to my QR grid page, it kind of explains everything. Oh yeah, I've been looking at the pictures on there, and yeah, the Tar Heel is what I also have for for the mobile antenna. And but yeah, I love the antennas on the truck. That's awesome. You know, when we were up at the Hamfest, I was looking at it when we were up there. Did you bring your RV to Hamfest? No, Joe, I did not. I just came up for the day with a buddy of mine, and because of work stuff. Oh yeah, and back to that. And I had so much going on at work that I just, normally I'm off on Fridays, so I usually come up on Friday. And I bail out on Friday in morning, usually like 6 o'clock here, get up there around 9, and, usually find some little breakfast joint or whatever, go get breakfast and then go hit the Hamfest and go roam around for the day, and then go home at the end of the day. So that's my usual. So I didn't bring the trailer up there over. Well, if you're off on Friday at Tuesday tonight, and then leave Sunday like we do, and go back home, and you can sit back and kick back and relax, Yeah, well, you know what happened is, so I work for the city down here, and I manage a long story, but the short story end of it is I manage a radio system that I used to piss and moan about crappy coverage, and we had a single site 800 conventional setup on the thing, and with maybe 15 or 20 users on it, and it's all law enforcement related, two-way comms. And I pitched and moaned about its crappy-ass coverage enough that ultimately, in the end, they gave me you want to complain about it, go fix it. And it's now morphed into 26 sites on the air, 11 different agencies and 4,000 users, and it keeps me hopping. You got hands around there with talent. And, I've got 4 towers in my yard. Got 190, 155 at 83 foot, 165 at 60 foot, and then the 25 in the front yard at 60 foot with a 15-foot mast for the front farmer's roof. And then the motor on the tower at the house, 40 foot of it, which is rod 35. But, as far as your coverage goes, if you find some hams around there with 80 or 90, 100 foot towers, I bet you'd be more than happy, with a solar panel and a battery and a little repeater and a couple antennas to rent space, and by God, you could improve your coverage quick and cheap. Yeah, the problem is my backhaul is 11 gig microwave, and it's in a loop configuration, so I've got 2 4-foot dishes that I have to hang up for that, and some of my sites have Bogner CMR penetrator antennas, and I don't know if you've ever seen those, but the smallest one is about 6 inches in diameter and 12 foot high, and that's the transmit antennas, and the tube antennas are 20 foot high, and they're monsters, but they're just the most awesome antenna ever. The downside is obviously you got to have a hell of a, tower to put these things on because they are wind grabbers. But there's nothing like them for building penetration and all that when, you're doing critical comms. And so, that's the downside to this stuff. It's all big. Well, on 55 and 45, if it's guide right on a good foundation, I got inrooted. I got this run 55, sitting on 4 yards of concrete with rebar, and I got 60 foot, I got 30 foot on my last house, and I got a Pro 57 that's 90 foot there on top of that tower, and a 2-element 40-meter bed. It's on my page. Pull it up and you see that, look at that top right-hand picture, you'll see it, the 40-meter band, there's a 2-element 40-meter band, and 85 foot. Yeah, I see it. I see it in the background there. And, yeah, man, gotta like it. Yeah. Well, some of my sites still are building tops, and I've got one site that it's a commercial television station. So I've got a transmit antenna up at 750 and a receive antenna up at 1,000 foot. And then I've got a bunch of 360 sites. And on those typically, the receive antenna's up top with a power top amplifier, and the transmit antenna's got 10 foot of vertical separation between the tip of the antenna and the bottom of the receive antenna, so it's down about maybe 15 feet, whatever, from the top. And then a bunch of monopoles that are just under 200 foot, just to, not have to put lights on and deal with the FAA garbage. And so, and as a matter of fact, I'm building 2 190-foot sites right now. As a matter of fact, I just got my geological surveys done so I could swap out the, get my building drawings done and, get them stamped and sealed and all that. So, like I said, it's just keep hopping. I'm pretty busy, and that's to change out the current radio system to which is right now it's a 800 trunk system, but it's multicasted, and that's to go to a simulcasted system down the road. So I need some more sites to accommodate the simulcast over what I'm using currently today. Okay, it's 4 TV, it's 240. That's a lot of people. Law enforcement, once you say 40, because once you talk about the saturation, 2 meters is long distance, and when they, I don't want the 440, and for saturation, then the population in the buildings area, and I've been with Georgia Power for 22 years, and, we had 2 different systems, and we had the Motorola, and on a 450, 460, and they were multi-band. I mean, got in what, 100 channels on the radio. Oh yeah, absolutely. Stage 1 or 2 in the group. But yeah, the stuff changes, it's like pretty regularly, and the system we had before was a moto system. We're using a Harris system right now since 2010. It went live in, let's see, September of 2009 actually is when we went live. So, we've been running this thing ever since, so it's getting slated for, a replacement now. And then, but all in all, I can say it's been a pretty good run. We run about usually 750,000 push-to-talks a month on the system, so it's fairly busy. Hey, Les. Hey, buddy. Well, I do have 700 sites on the air,
So I do actually have some sites that are using 700. You know, we're running 4 slot CDMA sites, so, you know, basically you can have 4 conversations on a 25K wide channel. And so I've got some, like, 2-channel, which would be, you know, basically 8 conversations. I got some 2-channel 700 sites out there, so we are using it. We applied for those when 700 first came out, and so they're out there and they're running. And, you know, around here, actually, I don't think there's any 700 pairs left to be had, at least in my area. Over. Yeah, they did. Yep, they did. And they also, you know, do the state of Florida, you know, what they call the SWL system, which, you know, is an acronym for the state of Florida, blah, 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 you know, electronic system. But they're swapping that out. It's still an old EDAC protocoid system, but it's in the process of being swapped out for 225 system now. Oh, okay, very good. Yeah. Yeah, I spent enough time up in Palm Bay at their place up there with engineering staff playing with, you know, radios and, you know, assisting a couple of the engineers that I worked with up there on writing code and stuff like that. So it's been a fun ride. I love all this stuff. It's definitely, it's been an interest of mine since I was a kid, so it hasn't moved at all. Oh yeah, you know, I'm just laughing when you said that about the cash grab, because they are the masters of deception, man. Oh my God. And, you know, I don't, you know, I like their gear, but I don't like the way they do business whatsoever. And I was the principal in the decision of going in the direction that we went in, which was to go to Harris. And that was one of the biggest ones because of the way they do business. And what happened was they actually won the state of Florida upgrade to 225. And, you know, their old claim to fame is bait and switch when it comes to system design and the change order you would get. And so, you know, they tried to play that game with the state of Florida, and in the end, the state of Florida basically said to them, you know, they got awarded the contract, and they basically, before they signed on the bottom line, they said, listen, you know, per the agreement, you know, read the agreement, because there is no extra dollars. You're going to build it, and you're going to make it work with the prediction map that you gave us, with the level of coverage that you gave us, and if there's any additional sites that are needed, you have to provide them on your own. And Motorola backed out. They basically canceled the bid, and so it went back to Harris.